So because of all this, this will probably end up being 6 hours or more. I have absolutely no idea how long this is going to run. So my computer cannot possibly, after everything, hope to render this on the back end. Not that video of that magnitude. So it's just not that powerful, and I just don't have enough money to get funds for a better computer right now to do that. So we'll need to do this in stages, aka multiple videos. So hopefully that's all right. So as a result of some of these personal opinions, and they are my own personal opinions, there's probably going to be some hot takes in here. I know there's going to be some hot takes in here, and some people are going to be just like running down to the comments and, you know, getting all mad up in there. But, you know, hey, we all got different opinions, and that's wonderful. Hey everybody, Retro Challenge Gamer. You've probably seen the little disclaimer I put in front of this video. So now we're back into the next two Grand Prix tracks that we're going to be ranking on the 96 tier list here. So as before, this is what we had earlier. I know there's some hot takes already after the first video, but we're going to keep moving on and we're going to keep ranking them. So let's get back to the game, and Mrs. Retro Challenge Gamer will pick out the next cup. Last time we did the Triforce Cup, which is the next cup. Which one do you want? The Leaf? This one here? Or this one here? This one? Okay, so the Leaf Cup. Alright, Wario, we're getting some more Wario here. Could not, yeah, beat him at all. So, what type of track is this? This is a DS track? Okay. So let's view my Ghost, and as such, you can check out RC Gaming, download my Ghost, and trounce my Ghost if you want. Card DS, so we're now looking at 5, right? Okay. So the track starts off pretty good. This is more of like a stadium sort of track, like before. In fact, this particular time trial, I actually went back recently in the last week and redid it, because I feel like with my new knowledge I gained 2 years later, I could do a better job. And I did do a better job. This part right here is so weird to me. It makes no sense why it would be this crazy of an anti-grav section where it's like, ah! You know, just like at a 90-degree vertical angle. I just don't understand it. I really don't. It really looks odd when compared to the rest of the track. It just seems like it stands out, and not in a good way. Okay, but yep. So obviously I know better on how to get coins on this redo of my... Whoop! I hit the wall there. So you don't want to... I don't think you want to do too hard on the tricks there, because it'll just shoot you straight off into the wall on the next turn. I think I did that a couple times. But overall, this is a pretty fun track. I still do not care for this S-turn here, just based on the way it turns and everything, and of course, yeah, I don't... No, I don't like that at all. That's probably the one part of the track that I don't really care for. Like this first part, fine. The part over the oil slick with the multiple jump hops, super great. I love that part. And then the two trick jumps after that with the fireball wheels, fantastic. The first 2/3 of this track is just amazing and fun, and it just feels like a great stadium track. And then you get to this. Like, not even like the fire wheels are placed properly to really trip you up. And then you get a hard, weird turn coming off that anti-grav, and then you get a bunch of just bumps here and some random water. So the last third just kind of brings everything else down, unfortunately. I mean, it was such a great track up to that point. But overall, it's still a fun track, and I still enjoy going through it. But what does that mean for the ranking? So, our first ranking of the day, Wario Stadium. Let me find the icon here. I would say very good. I will probably still play this one, but I would put it behind Ice Outpost. I just think I prefer that one better. Believe it or not. So, yeah, I think I'm okay with putting it there as our first for the day. Okay, back to the game. Can I not? Thank you. Okay, Sherbert Land. Like one of the rare ice levels in the original 48, and this was what type of track was it? It was a GC, and it's our first GameCube one. And I beat what is that? Lemmy, Iggy? I can't remember the Koopaling names and stuff. At least not the ones that kind of are interchangeable. I think Lemmy and Iggy are kind of interchangeable. I can't tell them apart. So this one, I actually kind of like. The layout is nice. Again, it's another big loop, but it's got enough twists and variations to it, and multiple levels, mind you, that I think it's a nice, worthy addition. I think you can go underneath there, and then it kicks you out up. Did you see that ramp up there? Up top? Yeah, it kicks you out over there, and then you can boost off into the rest of the cave section here. So I forgot, which one was the GameCube one? Was it DS or Double Dash? No, the GameCube was 64, wasn't it? I am so lost right now. I think it was 64. I want to say it was 64. So let's change the numbers there. So I do like the obstacles here, which are nice. The ice physics, they give you a lot of room to play with to make those tight turns. Then you like those little shy guys on skates. Those are neat. And then of course your standard little cave setup to give it a little bit of more variety. Goes on just the right amount of length before you kick back out into the snowy fields. This part can get a little boring, but they don't keep you here for too long before they bring you back onto the ice. So it's almost like a variation of the Vanilla Ice tracks from the Super Nintendo, but just done better. In fact, this is how they honestly should have redid some of the Super Nintendo tracks, kind of like this, where there's like dual layers to it. Now, obviously, I don't think I take the underwater portion at all. I think that's the slower route of the two. I could be wrong. But many of the world records just simply do not take the underwater route because I think it slows you down. That, and you have to deal with a little bit of a loose handling when you're in the water. I don't think anyone wants to deal with that. But overall, good, solid turns. You can take them tight if you want to. If you overshoot using a mushroom, there's plenty of room for you to recover. I think that was probably the tightest turn right there. As you can see, I almost did recover from it. And then, of course, some obstacles with the ice enemies. So overall, very, very fun. But is it like an outstanding track, you know? I mean, is it something that's going to be memorable and that I would like playing over and over again? You know, I would put it above all the rest, but I still think Warriors Goldmine is better. I think it's better. Yeah, I really think it's better. So yeah, it's average. I don't mind playing it. It's fun. But I wouldn't say it's a very awesome track that I will play and I want to play. So, back to the game. Melody Motorway. Oh, yeah, I beat Baby Daisy on this one. Let's watch how I did. And what was this? 3DS? I think it was a 3DS, Kart DS track. If not, I will update my number tally better. I think it was Super Circuit. Who knows? We'll find out afterwards, and we'll adjust as necessary. But yeah, this is a very great, fantastic track. It's a very musically oriented track where everything you do, well, almost everything you do, like, contributes to the music of the overall soundtrack of this race. It's amazing. Like, you play on the piano, you go across it, and then you hit the drum, and it just adds to the music. Now that's a tight turn. I was not very good at brake drifting. You gotta remember this time trial was from like 2 years ago. So I was not as good as I am now, but I'm still not as good as so many other players are. Yeah, that was sloppy, very sloppy. But overall, this is fun. I like the fact that we can go through and get triple ultra turbo boosts off of a lot of these turns and everything. It keeps the whole place feeling like it's fast, like you're constantly in motion and there's no real slowdown. Everything is given the right amount of time to marinate in this track. Just when you are like getting bored of a certain area, oh, I learned brake drifting after this. I promise. Like, this goes on just long enough, 3 musical notes, and then you're done, and then you're back at the beginning, and then another drum that's optional to get that awesome, sweet, sweet shortcut. Yeah. Wow, I think I could probably do a better run of this if I try to do it another time trial run now. I think I could do a lot better, but I'm not going to. I just did it once just so I could do this, and that's fine with me. Just 2 years early. That's probably the hardest turn right there. And on 200cc, that and this one right here is what gets me every single time. Oh, I braked there. I learned on the 3rd lap. And I actually got the glider this time. Look at that. I am getting better on each track. And there we go. There you have it. Melody Motorway. Oh, that was... Ooh, yeah. So many mistakes I made. I could have done so much better. So, how does this rank? Melody Motorway, or as they call it, Music Park. I think it's super fun. I really enjoy playing it. When it comes up, I love to select it, and there's so many chances for shortcuts and being able to surge ahead of your opponents when you get knocked back behind, like several places. Some tracks, you don't have the opportunity to ever make that ground up. You're like, oh crap, the race is over. It's done. It's over with. But here, you have many opportunities to gain that ground back. And that just adds to its favor to where it's ranked now as simply the best. I love this track. So, back to the game. And finally, Yoshi's Valley. View Ghost. Oh, I have totally trounced Nintendo Mark here. Have you ever noticed, what is this? Oh yeah, go back, 3DS. Yes, it was 3DS. I did do it. Yeah, good. So this is Nintendo 64, which is... Oh, what is GameCube? Which one is GameCube? I don't know which one is GameCube. Is that Kart 7 or is that Super Circuit? I don't know. I'll have to look that up and adjust my numbers accordingly. Oh well, let's view this. Let's view how I did. Okay, so this track is very interesting in that it has so many useless paths. I don't know why you would go right and hit the barrel to shoot you out over where I'm going to be in about 1 second, like right there. It's just wasted time. I don't understand why they chose to design the track this way. Again, I know this is pretty near and dear to a lot of Nintendo 64 owners and people who played it back in the day when it first came out for the Nintendo 64, but I've never played it. And I just think it's a badly designed track. I like the fact of the novelty of it, that it's a maze, if you will, but it sucks when the maze only has one true path through it, instead of multiple viable paths to get through it. Here, it's just like some paths just kind of loop in on themselves and waste your time. In fact, the path I'm choosing is probably the most efficient route of the bunch, which puts you in a prime position to just go straight through everything and get straight on to the final, big circle loop to the Great Egg, which is an interesting obstacle. I would not expect a big egg, Yoshi egg like that, to be just rolling around as something big to avoid in the track. But there you go. Yeah, not much to say about this track. You just gotta learn the proper routing and don't take anything else. I will say, like the previous track, Melody Motorway, if you do happen to lose ground, there are multiple opportunities to get it back up, especially towards the end with the grassy areas that you can just completely skip. So I do like the fact that, unlike many of the DLC booster pack courses, this track gives you opportunities to make up your losses. So I do give it credit there. I mean, the aesthetic is nice. It's very pretty. I don't mind driving on it. I just wish that they would have kept this aesthetic, but made it, I don't know, betterly designed track. I know betterly is not really a word, but I don't care. So, so let's go back to the ranking tier list. And where are we going to put Yoshi's Island? Ooh, I wouldn't say it's kind of bad. I mean, it is a fun track. It is fun, but I would not like pick it if it came up in the roster. Yeah, I'll put it between Sherbert Land and Waluigi's Pinball. That seems about right for me. I'm telling you, hot takes all around, everybody. Hot takes, this is my opinion. Alright, so Mini Retro Challenge Gamer is here, and he selected earlier for me to do this cup right here, the Rock Cup. And of course, we're going to start this off with a tour track, London Loop. Now, one thing I've noticed is that compared to the ghosts of the original 48, the ghosts of these new booster courses are very difficult to beat. Like, it's like they had almost 8 years to watch us, to observe us on YouTube, and figure out all the nice tricks and tactics, and now they're getting these awesome times that we have to beat, which are leagues beyond what the original 48 sported in terms of ghost times you had to beat that were included on the cart. So, but no, we're gonna watch me, and we're gonna see how London looks. Again, it's just driving through city streets, things like that, but this one I think has a little bit more to it. You do go through some of the same stuff over again, but it's not like over half of one lap is the majority of the first lap, things like that. This one I do remember practicing for a very, very long time, trying to get it right. Like before I was going to go straight and then turn right, but I didn't realize there was this special route here with the double-decker buses that got me there slightly faster. And I didn't find that out until I watched a YouTube video later on it. And I was like, you know what? I got to go back. I got to go back. Hey, raising drawbridge, which did not happen. That's a nice little thing that you can trick off of when it like raises up and everything. So that's kind of neat. But depending on timing, I think it goes on a timer. Depending on when you reach it, it may not be there for you to trick off of. But yeah, after watching a video showing the double-decker bus area, I was like, okay, nope, got to go back and try this time trial again and get a little bit better. And I did. I think I improved like about almost 2 seconds. Oh, that ended up being slightly slow. Sometimes doing the shorter boosts is better in the long run than holding on for that longer triple ultra boost. But yeah, it takes you through a lot of city streets, but there's the environment is always changing. You're always going to different bridges. There's the Ferris wheel. You're going through a park. There's chain chomps. You know, there's raising drawbridges. Compared to New York Minute, this has so much more going for it. Like, for example, see, we're going through part of the second lap again, but this time they change it up. And they have chain chomps just roving about and everything as obstacles now. So that's kind of neat, and you can kind of see one coming. Yep, there it is. Let's see if I can trick off this. No, I was not able to. And then, of course, you go by the river. I forgot what that river's called, but it's pretty famous as it goes through the London. Oh yeah, I totally failed on that trick, but you can. The center little podium there. It was a little... I only had one mushroom, so you have to hop a little bit into the grass and then activate it like partially through. That's the only way you're going to be able to use it on 3 mushrooms, because the first 2 I used in the first or the second lap. But yeah, overall, this is actually a pretty decent, fun course. The track is very well laid out. The arrows are numerous and big, and I don't think there's any real places where you could get confused on where to go. At least for me, I never got confused in London Loop. I was always made aware of where I should turn left, right, and everything, and it just kept it flowing. It kept things interesting all throughout the race. So I think that's actually kind of a higher tiered course. I will probably say this is pretty fun to play. I would not rate it above Ice Ice or Wario Stadium, but yeah, it was a very good tour track. I actually liked London Loop, and that's why I'll place it at the bottom of the very good section. So, moving on to Boo Lake. GBA. I don't know which one this is. I will update. I think don't know. I'll update these numbers afterwards, y'all. I don't know what this is. I think GBA is Super Circuit. I think Super Circuit is the GBA one. So we'll put it down to 7 there. No, we're not going to race. RC Gaming, I was shy by about a second. So this one is fun. I like how it changed almost like a Super Nintendo-esque track into something very unique. Like, even the background is better than, like, Super Mario Circuit 3. Like, good gosh, this looks better. But not only that, but it gives you some anti-grav, too, and some underwater section, which I'm pretty sure was not part of the original track on GBA, Game Boy Advance, because I don't think that system was probably powerful enough to do crazy things like that. So this looked like a very interesting and very well thought out port. This is what I would expect some of those Super Nintendo tracks to have been like if they were ported, you know? Not like how we got with Rainbow Road or Mario Circuit 3. It's a short track, doesn't outstay its welcome. Just when you think you're done with it, you know, with the boards, it splits up and then it goes into the anti-grav turn. And then it just shocks you with a nice little underwater segment with a classic shortcut as befitting any sort of Boo or haunted-based track, which harkens back all the way back to the Super Nintendo days, where I think every Boo track, there was like I think 3 of them, had a shortcut to it. I think so. I definitely know the first one did. The first one had a huge track where you needed the feather to outpace all of your opponents. So I love the fact that they kept a shortcut in. This is definitely one that my brother would love to watch and see, because he loved the Boo tracks. Me and him loved racing each other on these sorts of tracks. So this one is fun, and I like the super end at the end here where you go boom, 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 get that extra last speed all the way towards the end and make that a fun final fast finish. I like that. So heading back to the tier list. Where is the Boo Lake? There it is. So let's head back to the tier list. This is fun. I really enjoyed this one. Ooh, this is tough. I know it's better than London Loop, but is it better than Wario Stadium? I'll say it's better than Wario Stadium just because Wario Stadium, the last third, really kind of just destroyed the awesomeness that the first 2 thirds built up. Whereas Boo Lake was pretty consistent all throughout. But is it better than Ice Ice Outpost? Ooh, that's a tough one. So I'm going to leave it there and see how I feel later. It's a tie, I think. It's a tie for those two. So, moving back, we're going to do Alpine Pass. Or some people know it as Rock Mountain, I guess. But for some reason they call it Alpine Pass. This is definitely a 3DS track. So we're looking at, 3? So now we have 3 left. So let's take a look at Alpine Pass, which I did beat. Yeah, there we go. Let's watch how I did. I took some crazy shortcuts, y'all. So, I know some people don't like this one, but I'm going to tell you up front, I think this one is fine. I think it's fun. I know a lot of people don't like the gliding mechanic. They think it's dull and boring. But you got to think about where I'm coming from. I'm coming hot off of Super Nintendo. 2 decades later, I go into Mario Kart 8, and I'm reintroduced to Mario Kart all these years later, skipping all other games in the middle, and I'm introduced to so many stuff. Drifting, tricks, turbos, gliding, you know, just like so many new concepts that it's all new to me, and it's all awesome. So, to me, gliding is still such a novel thing for me, and Alpine Pass, or Rock Mountain, does so much of it. And it really puts you in the air more often than not, and I just love that. I love the fact that you're high up in the mountains, and you have the opportunity to continue to stay high through most of the track. So, let's talk about the track, actually, now that we got that out of the way. I do like the small cave section in the beginning, though. You know, kind of breaks up the look of it every now and then, so it keeps things interesting and not boring as a track. And this is awesome. I love this whole aspect right here where you're just descending down into the valley and you have a choice of going straight down to the ground or just letting yourself glide, or you going off to the side and taking this crazy shortcut, because I've seen, oh, that's a horrible hit. How did I keep that in? I thought it would have reset after that. Oh well, whatever. But you have a choice. I've seen world record holders like glide off to the right way sooner than I have. And like skip that entire green grass section almost entirely. It's crazy how optimized some people have gotten this. But this is fun. I mean, I like the look. The novelty of it is great. The gimmick of just flying everywhere is great. The layout is fun. Yeah, it's a loop and everything, but they make it interesting. And to me, it's just fun. I just love this track. I know this is a hot take like everything else I've done already in 2 videos. But this is a fun track. It's one of my favorites. So, as we watch us finish it up, I guess it's time to put it on the tier ranking list, right? Let's back to the tier ranking list. Let's find it in the list here. Where is it? Where is it? Rock Rat Mountain. Okay, Alpine Pass, Rock Rat Mountain, whatever. Ooh, I'd say it's funner than Music Park. I would put it behind Hyrule Circuit and before Music Park. I know this list is gonna piss off so many people, but these are my opinions. This is how I find Mario Kart 8 fun after being away from Mario Kart for 2 decades. It annoys my son because Waluigi is not #1, but that's his opinion. Alright, so Maple Treeway. Ooh, I was not very good at this one. I mean, you saw how I performed, blind and everything, so that was... What was this? It was the Wii. It was the Wii version. No! No! The controls are betraying me. So let's watch how I did. So this track is a little bit of a longer track, especially to round out a Grand Prix, so it really keeps you on your toes. But I do love the fact that it has a couple different routes. Like this shortcut at the beginning is really, really nice and removes the S turn altogether at the start. And you can actually skip ahead by 1 or 2 positions, roughly, if you take that every single time. So that's fun. Hitting these grass piles is fun, too, because you can sometimes get a mushroom out of them, or some other item, or banana or something, you know. Little things to help you out. You gotta dodge the wigglers. Always fun to include those in a track. And then it includes a very interesting half pipe, which I've never really used before, but in the time trial, I think I used it to gather some coins and then not gather a single one during that entire attempt. But yeah, in 200cc, it is very difficult to maintain yourself on those branches because you go flying off. There are no guardrails on that maple tree at all. But yeah, I will always take this route because this is the fastest one, and it puts me in correct prime position to just roll right into the barrel, the cannon blast. So this is good to get you, I think, up to at least a, triple, and then this is also a good one for a triple as well. And then you have an opportunity here to surge ahead if you have some items. And then this is where I found, when I was watching a bunch of videos online, a lot of people started passing each other up. Either if they took a hard turn or if they took the half pipe. I guess I took the half pipe because it registered enough for me to get a boost. So, and this turn is extremely hard if you're not prepared for it. If you land down and you're not already into some sort of turn, you're going to just go blowing off the other side. And then if you saw, there were 2 routes on either side going straight through trees right at the end there. And each one has, I think, some coins and some item boxes during a Grand Prix. And I don't know if they're any faster than going through the middle route and tricking off the roots, because I've seen world record holders do both, or do one or the other. Some go straight down the middle, some take the left route or the right route through the trees at the end there. I don't really know which one is faster, but I can appreciate that they're all there as a choice for the player to choose from. So I do like choice in my tracks. And this is actually one of the few DLC booster courses that gives you choices. Some don't. Some are just like straight from beginning to end, and that's the route you gotta race in. There's no options. Overall, very solid track. Very fun. I know what I said during my blind playthrough. I'm like, oh, this track is awful. It's terrible. But coming back to it and practicing on it, I think it's fun. I think it's fine. It's fine. It's not average. It's definitely not average. Ooh. You know what? I'm going to say it's at the top of the tier list of very good. It's not the best, but it is very, very good. And I enjoy playing it, even over Ice Ice Outpost and any of the other tracks I've placed beneath it. So here's my tier ranking after 4 Grand Prix. And what is that? 4, 8, 12, 16 tracks. Oh, we got so many more to go, everybody. But here's where we are so far. A lot of hot takes, both in last video and this one. And there's going to be plenty more to come, everybody. I hope you all been enjoying this and my little assessments and reminiscence on past times I've played old tracks like the Super Nintendo ones. So until next time, everybody, see y'all later and stay retro.